We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, coming at you in Santa Monica,
California.
We're in Angela's favorite place, eco-friendly clothing shops.
Yes.
And we actually have the owner of the main brand Livity right now here for you at his studio shop in Santa Monica. We got Isaac. How's it going, Isaac?
Hey, Raw World. Nice to see you all.
Thanks for coming on the TV show.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. How long you been with the Livity and creating this amazing brand?
Livity was founded in late 2001. We shipped our first products in early 2002 and really kind of ran it just to fashion boutique customers here on the West Coast and in Japan and Italy for the first 4 years. And then we got the chance around late 2005 to go into Urban Outfitters and Whole Foods and bigger retail environments. And
Wow.
started to push down that road, and yeah, ever since it's just been learning to grow a business to a big scale.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing your brand name more and more popping up everywhere. It's a lot of fun. Every eco shop I've seen has it. Yeah. So, why eco-friendly? Why did you go into this whole entire hemp area?
Well, I was a designer, and I was really focused on snowboard outerwear. Was my entry to design that and a lot of luggage. And you know, I had a pretty progressive upbringing in Southern Oregon, and at one point a friend of the family pulled me aside and said, "Hey Isaac, did you know that your job is basically diametrically opposed to your lifestyle and your upbringing?" And I was like, you know, I was really pretty high on my job as a designer at the time because it's sort of, you know, a dream job in a lot of senses, and getting to make cool stuff and test it and all of that and working with fun brands. But you know, he took this new jacket that I had just designed and tore it apart and was like, PVC, nylon, fluorocarbons, Teflon, what more do you want? You know, you're killing me right now just holding this thing. And I was just like, wow, you know, he melted me down basically, and really made me question what I was doing with my creative energy. And he was right. What I was doing, although I had the best intentions, was really contributing to that which I was chanting down incessantly all the time. And so I started to look for alternatives, and for a while I was really in turmoil about what I was going to do with my career. And then I happened upon some early sort of more developed organic cotton and hemp textiles at a materials show, and started to realize that, wait, there are some eco offerings starting to come around in the textile space that are actually getting interesting to me. Prior to that, everything I'd seen was like, you know, burlap or very, very simple twills and plain weave organic cotton stuff. And so this was suddenly looking interesting. The hemp aspect of it really intrigued me, and I started to look into all the properties of hemp, and the more I learned, the more I was sold on it being not only, you know, the world's best textile fiber, but the world's most important renewable resource as well. And so really began wholeheartedly to push strictly eco design to all my freelance customers, and wasn't very successful. Nobody was ready to step up to that in 2000, 99, 2000, 2001. I hit up basically every major company in the surf, skate, snow industry and the streetwear industries, all the people I worked with, even the brands that had a marketing bend that seemed very natural were afraid of small incremental price increases in order to bring real sustainable products to market. So that became increasingly frustrated, and the kicker was a meeting where I had a CEO of a company tell me, after designing and just putting a ton of energy into this line that we had shaved the price down to nothing on, he told me, Isaac, it's just too expensive to save the planet right now. And that night I went home and concepted the brand, and Livity was really developed to be an anti-brand. You know, initially with no logo, just the glass bead. And bringing it to the world with the actual brand name being a message itself. Livity International just means like real liberty worldwide.
Yeah. What is that glass bead? It's like on every single one of your, this thing right here, right?
Yeah.
It's on every single.
I like to call the bead, our 3D branding. And the bead is actually Czech lampwork glass. It's from a glass factory that's over 300 years old. And to me, glass really represents something that's kind of other dimensional in some ways. It's a liquid, but we perceive it as a solid. It moves at such a slow rate molecularly that to us it's not a liquid really. And for me, that brings up a lot of cool stuff around space, time, dimension. I kind of like to think about that stuff, but it's also a bit of a cultural symbol. Glass in the counterculture, used for art and used for functional objects, is always been around and an important part of the hemp culture. So it's got a bit of that symbolism, but more than anything, it just holds color so well and is a very unique way to brand a product. And what we're doing in this next year is attributing all the different colors of beads to different charities, and basically making a portion of proceeds from those different colored beads go to specific charities. So you can kind of choose what you're giving to via the color of bead that's applied to your product.
Wow.
Yeah, that was not my bright idea. It was actually our accountant and controller's bright idea. We have a lot of creative people, even our financial people here.
Wow.
Very creative. So that's the story behind the bead, and really what's remarkable about the bead is when I looked into its original use. This is a really, really old factory in Central Europe, and it's said that in this region the beads were actually produced that were traded for Long Island when pilgrims came and took land from the natives. They used these glass beads from Czech Republic.
Wow.
A little better story about the bead, and this one in particular, is that it's used in prayer necklaces and rosaries across multiple faiths.
Right.
It's used by Catholics, Muslims, and Buddhists. They all buy this bead from the same factory and use it in their devotion, in their meditation, and that was the neatest thing. And I found it out years after it chose me as our brand symbol, actually. So it really is like a symbol of the One Love inspiration that is the root of the brand.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We loaded up here at Livity.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I have all these tank tops that I get from here, and Angela bought this beautiful hat. Woo!
Got a private beach hat.
She was getting burnt up in the convertible every day. No more.
Ready for the private beach now.
Yeah. Isn't like that jacket made out of recycled bottles or something?
That is, yeah. We do a lot with different fiber blends in order to get functionality and different performance out of stuff. You can take a look at these trunks here as an example. Similar to that jacket, these are made of 55% recycled plastic bottles.
Wow.
And the long fiber hemp is actually used to create the ripstop grid.
Wow.
So the tensile strength of the long fiber hemp creates the real ripstop functionality. So this is one of our most famous materials in the Livity Eco Textile line. It's called Riptide.
Wow.
It's a fun material, yeah. The jacket that you pointed out over there specifically developed this material here for outerwear use. And so this goes back to my history as an outerwear designer and looking for things that are lower impact. So this is actually a 80% recycled PET, 20% hemp blend, which allows it to go back into the PET recycling stream.
Sure.
But gives it a natural hand feel and the antimicrobial properties of hemp.
Wow.
And then this has been nano-finished for durable water repellency and stain resistant.
Wow.
It's actually a silica-based process that's totally non-toxic and closed loop and creates a durable water repellent finish that's way better, way longer lasting than the traditional fluorocarbon-based spray finishes.
Wow.
Which are some of the most toxic stuff that gets applied to clothing. Your cool new outerwear jacket from Patagonia has got a spray finish on it that rubs off on your hands, and it's essentially made of some of the smallest, slipperiest molecules out there, Teflon.
Right.
and fluorocarbon, and it's really slippery in essence, so it gets into everything, into the water, into the food that you're eating, everything. And so sort of simultaneous to you ingesting the toxins, you're actually wiping the functionality off of your jacket as well, and the DWR that you're picking up and eating is no longer on the coat. So
Wow.
it really doesn't work that long to make water beat up. These new finishes that are actually non-toxic work over 70 washes. And
Wow.
people rarely even wash their outerwear jackets. So,
Right.
you know, it's like it's going to last the life of the jacket.
Right.
And so that's the kind of stuff we like, is a solution that's not only better for the planet, but functions better too.
Sure.
And there's a surprising number of these out there, and it's actually surprisingly easy to innovate and come up with sustainable solutions that are practically better as well,
Right.
and functionally better.
So if somebody wanted to come and get some of these Livity clothes, how do they, is there a website, or what can they do?
Yeah, just go to livity.org, www.livity.org. Please come and visit us, and hit the little shop button after you check out all the information on the site, and you'll find the world's foremost eco apparel and accessories.
Awesome.
These hats are made out of coconut fiber.
Wow.
It's so cool.
That's crazy.
They're also like the lightest hats on the planet.
Yeah.
They're really amazing.
Wow.
I feel like you're not wearing a hat.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for everything you're doing.
Who do we got here?
Angela Stokes-Monnick.
And over here?
Isaac Nicholson, Livity International.
And Matt Monarch got souped up with awesome clothes that will last me forever. And we'll see you again tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.